And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Shreds him with a stiff arm. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Right back to Sanders on first down. They find some open field here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Another first down there as this one goes for 25.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? We just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. At the 32-yard line. Bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That sort of goes without saying. That's the risk of running the option play. You can put the ball on the ground. They did there and turned it over.
So true, because you've got so many different decisions that have to be made. Are you handing the ball off inside, or are you just keeping it yourself? Are you pitching it to your trail guy? And sometimes you get caught in between, and you're a little indecisive on the play, and it turns into the ball on the ground. Fortunately enough, they weren't able to return it for a touchdown.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Just a gain of a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 3. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Stafford on 3rd down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On first down, it's Stafford. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked by Kim. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. CD, that's the second time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game. So you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
Touchdown, Washington.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Stafford on 1st down. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Jones. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing Jones. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aaron Donald in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. Back deep to return is KJ Hamler. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the Commander's 47-yard line.
Now Stafford. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Akers is into the end zone. Touchdown, L.A. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took him home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Tristan Vizcaino for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Another run here with Sanders. And he's got room. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 106 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
On 1st down, Jones. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
They're on 17.
there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Looking to throw. Jones. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And they will take over 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Cup. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
But so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 1st downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
Pass complete to Akers on the out route. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Throwing quickly out wide, Atwell. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now Jones on first down. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
To throw again on second down. Jones. He completes this to Cole Turner. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
On second and 10, Jones. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 39. Sly able to put this one through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Joey Sly to kick off for the Commanders.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. Running room at the 50. Look out. He will score. Touchdown. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Well, the Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around. On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Sometimes those tip balls turn out to be like a pinball, just bounce all over the place. Everyone's got to go up and get it. In this case,
well, we talk about tip drills for defensive players like you, but what about the offensive guys? They do any tip drills?
I think they work on it as well, oftentimes in the Hail Mary situations, because you're actually counting on a ball being tipped to give you an extra chance to catch it. They use that training well.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Back to throw. Jones. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And the Rams are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Stafford. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On first down, Stafford here. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. That's caught. It's 2-2 Atwell. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Open man right side is Cup, complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch,
under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jonathan Allen, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
111 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Jones now on 1st and 10. And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football.
It certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. back to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball at a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Stafford popping this forward. It's a jet sweep. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
At their own 20-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off play action. Jones. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Commanders are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Washington on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 31 yards. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely
fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way.
Well, that 2-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people that can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you'd run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Alert!
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. 40 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Throwing here, Stafford. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And 6 DBs on the field for Washington on 3rd down. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
The tackle made by Devondre Campbell. No gain on the play. It's fourth down.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot. But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for L.A., the win moves them to 3-9 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.